Hi, I'm Connie Houde. It's been a while since I've been in the building here related to COVID. And what I wanted to share with you today was um, the effect that my trips to Afghanistan have had on me in the long run. I first went in 2003. Basically, I wanted to see after 9/11 what we as Americans were doing in Afghanistan. And unbeknownst to me, it became something so much more than that. I wound up falling in love with the country and the people. I had a connection with a high school classmate and her husband who were working the only eye care program in the country. And I wound up traveling back 4 other times from 2003 to 2010. I have not gone back since due to the conditions there. I would love to go back, but how it changed my life was working with Tom Little and his wife, Libby, and seeing people who had lived in Afghanistan for 12 years maybe when I first met them, and they raised their children there through the war with the Russians, through the Mujahideen and the Taliban. And I thought, how are these people doing it? They're crazy. They're just absolutely crazy. But what I learned in the time that I spent with them was their love for a life of service. Olden times, we would have called them missionaries. They did not like to see themselves being called missionaries because they didn't feel like they were trying to directly convert anyone or say that their Islamic faith was any less than their Christian faith was. What they saw themselves as living a Christian good life and sharing that with the people around them. And I had never experienced people that lived their life so directly in relationship to that. And it wasn't that they were any more solid in their belief in Christ or God or whatever you might want to call it. They had their own questions, but they lived it every day. And it was, the more I visited them and went back and spoke with them and shared from their lives, it just made my everyday life when I came back home much richer. I'm not necessarily related in doing things religiously, but I feel like it made me a better person, to live my life in a more conscious way of how what I did affected what was going on around me. I have also been impressed, not just in Afghanistan, but my other countries that I've traveled in and traveled into poor areas. The resilience of people is amazing. And if you look at our own selves, you can see that resilience here too, with how we're all dealing with this pandemic. Some better than others, and sometimes better than others. There are times I lose it entirely, but I'm only human. And resilience, I think, is a part of faith, a part of the journey, to learn how to roll with the punches, to see what's coming towards you and not just be a fatalist and say this is the only thing that's there, but it's taking your life to the next step and saying, okay, this door was closed, how can I open another, even if it's a crack?